To me, this is what I always envisioned.
Learn more at carrotcamp.com. Hey, welcome back, everyone. Hope you guys enjoyed those breakouts. I had a lot of fun. Not enough time. We might need to extend the sessions, go back to longer days next year. We're gonna have to be having these friends back on the podcast to dive in because, man, we're getting so many questions. But thank you guys for hopping in the breakouts. Hit refresh if you need to on the page to be with us live. And what is happening?
Dude, you got to get a beard, Brady.
There you go.
I've been trimming it back down so I could look more like Pace. Oh my goodness.
Hilarious.
I've been trimming it up. I was starting to look like Beau and RJ for a minute there, but I guess I missed the memo, apparently. Well, welcome, you guys. Welcome, Beau. Welcome, RJ. Good old friends of Carrot. How you guys doing?
Good. What's going on?
Doing really
Heck
good.
yeah. Guys, this group here, so everybody popping in here, coming back from the breakouts. So we're going to see more and more people piling in here, making their way back from the breakouts. This session here is so key. Okay, first of all, we're going to do the full introductions for Beau and RJ here in a second. But everything we've talked about up to this point is how do you get more deals? How do you get more leads? How do you think about business in a different way? But one of the biggest leverage points in all of your business to get more deals is actually maybe you don't need more leads. Maybe you need no more leads at all than what you already have, but you need to make those leads work better, right? And both of these guys here are two of the best, if not the two best, when it comes to me, when I go like, if I were to put money behind a marketing campaign and spend my own dollars and have somebody on the other end of that phone talk to those sellers to bring them towards a deal, who would I put money behind? It would be these two guys right here. Okay. And I have done it with Beau, and I'd love to do it with you someday, RJ. It'd be sweet, man. But we're going to talk about negotiation. We're going to talk about how do we actually turn those leads into deals at a much higher rate. And with these two gentlemen here, they're amazing at negotiation, but it's really about connecting with a seller, guiding through the conversation. There's a lot of overlap in what they do, but also they have their own unique styles, which is one of the reasons why we wanted to bring both Beau and RJ on, because they're both amazing, top of the game, but do it a little bit differently. And so everyone can kind of take cues from each, and they go, yep, I'm going to move in that direction. Yep, I'm going to move in that direction. But let's do introductions here. Mr. RJ Bates, dude, known each other for years. I think first time you and I connected was at an Investor Fuel Mastermind. But one of the things I want to kind of drop a nugget on for people is if this doesn't impress you guys, RJ froze up. So when he comes back, if this doesn't impress you guys, I don't know what will. Is RJ did a challenge to do 50 deals in 50 states. I think it was in 50 days. And I think he pulled it off.
I think
50
so.
deals, 50
days,
states,
yep.
50 days. Which is crazy. So cliffhanger, he'll be back. But let's talk about Beau now, because he's actually here.
I want to hear, Beau, as you tell us, sorry, I'm so anticlimactic. I just interrupted you. I want to hear about types of marketing you're doing too, as you do your intro, because I think that's important for this. What types of leads you're dealing with, but I'll stop interrupting you.
Yep. No, you're totally fine, man. So I mainly do SEO, and then I have a good name for myself locally with, realtors and people. And I've been doing this for a long time. So a lot of people bring me deals, and we just have really honed in just on our local market through just our branding, our online presence, meetups, all those kind of things. So it's really just SEO and then referral based.
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah.
And what's your
things? Oh, sorry, Brady.
No, go ahead, Trevor.
One of the things with Beau as well. So Beau and I think the first time we met Beau was out of Carrot Camp, but we'd been talking before that. And one of the things that's so impressive, guys, is Beau doesn't like what does your team look like right now, Beau? I mean, is it just you, or what's the team look like right now?
It's me, and then I also just recently we're doing some really cool stuff online, and I'm bringing in somebody to help me with that. That will take on some load, but for the most part, it is me. And then if I have a need for something else, I'll just bring in a partner on a deal or something like that. But it's mainly just me.
So it's Beau, and then guys, he does multiple 7 figures per year on a 1-person crew and share what you're willing to share. But people would look at that and go, dude, he's probably getting 100 or 200 leads a month. Like what does your lead volume look like on average, maybe on a monthly basis?
I get a couple. I know this is going to sound insane, but I get a couple leads every single week. Like this week, I think we looked at 5 houses. This week we looked at 5 houses, and I put under contract, I think 3 of those 5 houses. One of them is still out there in limbo, but it's the leads are very, very concentrated. Like they're good quality leads. So for me, I kind of built my business in that way. So it's the leads I'm looking at is kind of like, they're really good.
Yeah. So guys, you don't need hundreds of leads a month to do 7 figures. You don't need a big team. And Beau is going to show how he takes those leads, a low amount of leads, and turns them into a big amount of profits and revenue here in a second. And let's go back over to RJ, man. We said all kinds of things about you behind your back, and it was crazy.
So I am fairly certain that Beau sabotaged me because Beau sent a text saying that his power went out right before he started his live. And right as we were going to do intros, full on power outage in the entire office. No electricity.
I legit, my wife texted me just now and she's like, did it come back on? I'm like, literally at the exact moment we went live.
That is hilarious, dude. I was like, are you serious? And so I'm on my cell phone, like, all right, I'm gonna join the live on my cell phone. So I apologize about that. Proof that this is live and not recorded, baby.
Yeah,
right there.
That's right.
But yeah, I'm RJ Bates. I've been doing this for over a decade. I've done deals in all 50 states, and deals that I do in Kentucky, man. Beau Hollis is the first person I call. He's my boy out there. Beau and I've done some deals together for sure.
We made money on that house.
Yep. Yeah. So yeah, man, it's an honor to be here. Love everything that Carrot does, and appreciate you guys.
Love it. Well, Brady, I'm going to toss it over to you, man. Where do you want to kick this off? Because we've got them for 40 more minutes of negotiation mastery. Where do we want to kick it off?
Yeah, I'd love to hear kind of if we could start by talking about just y'all's different philosophies. Like what's your overall holistic approach? Like what's the main thing top of mind when you're getting on the phone with a lead?
Which person do you want to hear from?
We'll go alphabetical, just so I'm not picking favorites. We'll go Beau.
Just sitting there staring at each other. So here's my thing is like I have a background in sales for a long time, and for a long time I was not good. And there's one thing that we all have in common when we were talking to sellers, and it's people, right? This is a people business, and real estate is the byproduct. That is, there's no if, ands, or buts. That is the absolute truth, is that we are in the people business. And my first goal is to show that I am a real person. And you know what? You never really know what someone's going through on the other end of that phone, no matter what they say. They're probably not telling you the truth. And people are struggling. And I don't care what kind of house it is. It's just when people come to us, especially if it's a highly motivated lead, many times these people, they have a real need in their business. And they really need someone who many times is a friend, and someone who is a friend that is very competent in their job. And I take a very people first approach, and I let people know, like right off the bat, hey, we have the same goals, and it is to be at the closing table with a smile on our face. And that is my first real intro to them, because it just lets everybody just is happy, right? They could have put a smile on their face, and I'm going to take a silly approach sometimes. That's just me though.
And so I kind of like that you take a silly approach, and you're closing all of your deals, or at least most of your deals, in person.
Yes, I do not do virtual. I go to every closing still, and I'm there smiling with me and the seller, taking pictures. Did that a couple times this week, and it has really helped my online presence, because it's me and tons and tons and tons of pictures of sellers and it's hard to kind of beat that.
Nice. Okay, RJ, what's your approach? What's your mindset when you're talking to someone, and are you doing virtual or in person?
So we are, me and Beau are like polar opposites.
100%. That's why I'm smiling so big. I can't.
Yeah. I'm excited for it.
So I'm 100% virtual. I never see the houses. I never see the sellers. I have one picture of me with a seller, ever. Although I need to get more, I guess. so I can get some those testimonials on my carrot page there.
It's okay.
And also our approach is a little bit different too. I really want to embrace the fact that I am a buyer in this situation. I want them to sell me on the house. And the way that I've always looked at leads is that even with, the best inbound lead generation tactic, you're still the vast majority of the time, it's going to lead to a no. So I have now gotten to the point where it's all about embracing no. I'm looking for the reason why this is not going to work out. And then I'm going to point them in the direction that it can. So it's kind of a ultimate always pull away, like, hey, a realtor's a better solution for you. This is not the solution that I'm not the solution for your problem. And once all of those boxes are checked, that, hey, the price is right, the motivation's right, they do need someone like a wholesaler or a real estate investor's help. That's when I really go in and say, okay, I am the right solution for you. And that's where you'll see me, quote unquote, close a deal.
Okay, nice. I like that. Yeah, very different approaches. At the risk of getting overly heady or wooey, how did you guys kind of land on this style, these beliefs? Like, Beau, you came from a formal sales background. RJ, I don't know your background, but like, was it just trial and error over and over? I guess what I'm asking is, like, if you went back 10 years and had to do it all over again, would you do that same thing, or what would you do differently to get to the point where you don't suck at sales?
Go ahead, Beau.
Kind of repeat that a little bit, because there was like two kind of part questions there.
Yeah, that was loaded.
Loaded question there, bro.
What was the most helpful thing for you when you were working on your sales negotiation skills? Like, how did you get to be such a good closer?
Well, I needed money, so I had to get good or like not eat. So that was like one thing. But the other thing was that reps, right? You put in lots of reps. You compress time and you do it over and over and over again really, really quickly. And that is the best way to get good, is by doing something over and over, and then getting mentorship, like people saying, hey, that's not good. And you get instant feedback in belly to belly sales many times, because you either get a yes or no, like right to your face. So you are forced to pivot when someone says no. And so right there, you're forced to make decisions. So if you can get paid, you have to figure out how to get a yes. So just compressing time and doing it a whole lot of times, just over and over and over and over again. That's like that's how you do it.
Lots of no's. What about you, RJ?
Yeah, for me, it was the reps, and then also listening to what other people in the industry said to do, and then getting to the point where I had to listen to myself and my gut instinct on, I don't know that I can pull off what someone else is saying works for them.
Yes.
Like, if it doesn't feel right to me, and I can't go into someone's house, or I can't, because we used to do in-person appointments all the way up until 2020. COVID is what ended that for us. Or talk to someone on the phone, and I can't be RJ. I can't be myself. I'm not being authentic, and I don't want to live a lie. I don't want to do business like that. And now it's, hey, we are able, my whole team, myself, my team doesn't close like RJ. They close like themselves. There are core fundamentals that they will follow. But if you have Beau's personality, I want you to embrace that. I want you to show that, because that's what people are going to fall in love with. Same reason why people fall in love with my personality. They're two different types of personalities, but that's what will resonate with them. So it was about, hey, let's just be genuine. I don't even consider what we do sales, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I mean, how can it be sales? We're buying something.
Totally.
So it just got to the point where it was like, hey, let's just be authentic.
That's key right there, because I think so many people look at what other negotiation coaches and other investors are doing and say, how can I copy this exact thing? How can I use their script, their formula? And those things are helpful, but what's more helpful is reverse engineering it and taking what works for you, chew up the meat, spit out the bones, and embrace yourself, as opposed to trying to be somebody else. That's a key thing.
Dude, that what you mentioned there, RJ, and I popped it through the note. I think that mindset tweak of how can this be sales, we're buying something, is so cool and so key, because I think a lot of newer investors, you could say agents or people probably in any industry that are trying to go out there and start a business or scale it and sell is we think of sales as a bad thing. We think of sales as this negative thing because we get the negative connotation of the used car salesman or this or over there, right? And sales at the root thing is number one, we have to believe in our product, right? We have to believe that our solution truly does solve a problem for the right person in the right situation. If you don't believe that your product actually is that's the first thing to work on, y'all, because it can be insanely hard to sell or have a team member come in to sell your product if they don't believe in it. So do everything you can do to make sure that your belief in the solution is rock solid. It is there. So if you need to believe that you can actually solve someone's problem in real estate more, amazing. Go get a coach, go get a mentor, go learn, go do everything you can do so your solution actually is solving their problem and you're confident in it. And then the next part of it is like RJ mentioned, when I think when we get caught up in sales, it's when we think that we're trying to pull one over on somebody. It's like, no, we believe in this solution for the right person in this situation. And my job is to get to know you, build trust with you, and see if it fits, see if you're a fit. And both of these guys do that in an amazing, amazing way. Amazing way.
I have one quick thought on that, and then I think we should spend some time doing some role play, see the kind of the differences here. I think that'll be fun. I remember, Trevor, one of the things you told me, this was when I first started working for you for Carrot, probably about 5 or 6 years ago, is I remember I was writing copy for an email and I was like, I don't know, man, it just feels kind of salesy. Like maybe we shouldn't have a CTA here. And you had asked me like, why does it feel salesy? Like what's making it feel salesy? And anyways, we started riffing and you ended up asking me like, do you have full belief in what we do like Carrot is the best solution for people? I was like, I don't know. Let me think about this. You started walking me through like, you know, who's our avatar, who are we serving? What are the other solutions? What do we do? And after that conversation, I was like, shoot, I guess you're right. Like if this is the best solution, now I do have buy-in because I've thought through that whole process, the psychology, the buying decision, what the other options are. I was like, okay, now I have full belief in what we're selling. Yeah. It is the best solution, the best tool for people. Now I can sell it. So I can relate to that 100%. Like you have to have buy-in or you can't sell it. Like that's what for me made it not become sales anymore. I'm just helping people because we have the thing. Yeah. Let's do a little bit of role play. I'll be myself, Brady Winter. Trevor, you want to be yourself, Trevor Mock? Sure. I'm just going to go based off where we're at on the screen. We'll do me and Beau and then you and RJ. What I want to do is this. Me and Beau will do a little bit of role play. We won't take too much time. And then we'll pause and I want to hear some critiques. I want to hear RJ, your thoughts on it. I want to hear Trevor's thoughts. I want to hear the audience, any thoughts on it, what you would do differently, what you like, what you didn't like. Just throw your opinions out there. And then we'll switch. We'll do Trevor and RJ. Does that sound good, everyone?
Love it. Love it. Let's roll.
All right. So, Beau.
I do feel nervous. I got to say, I feel nervous. I don't know why.
You're telling me I'm not an investor. I feel nervous, man. But that's why I'm in my shoes right now. Okay. So I'm looking to sell my house. My name is Brady. I just submitted I just found your website online and I'm looking to sell my place in Louisville, as I learned recently. Louisville. Thank you. No, not Louisville. So anyways, filled out the form on your website, sell my house in Louisville, and I'm looking for some more info. And what do you do next?
Awesome. This is for me right now for RJ.
This is for you. Yep.
Very, very cool. You know, Brady, it's Brady, right?
Yep.
You know, I saw your information come through and I'm glad we got a chance to talk here. And, you know, if you just have a second, kind of tell me a little bit about the property. If you just have a second, like how many bedrooms, bathrooms, you know, all the good stuff. And tell me everything you want to know. I want to know everything about it.
Yes, it's a big house right now. I'm in a big house right now. It's always been a big house, but I'm in it by myself right now. My wife and I are going through divorce. Mm-hmm. But anyways, it's 5-bedroom, 2.5 bath, built in early 2000s, I think 2007. We're the second people in it. It does have a few repairs that need to be done. Like, I don't know what kind of shape the roof's in.
Any idea what was have you replaced the roof or what does that look like for you?
No, we have not replaced the roof. And I just know like from early 2000s, like it's probably getting old. Like we haven't had any problems with it. So I don't know, but
cool.
Yeah, a lot of the stuff is like, I don't know. A lot of the stuff's working, but who knows when it might need to be repaired. I don't really feel like doing the inspection on the roof, like looking at the AC, things like that. I just don't really have the headspace to deal with it.
Roughly what How many square feet is the house roughly?
1900, I think.
Okay. Do you live in the house now?
I do.
Does it have a basement at all?
No.
Okay. Just out of curiosity, like when have you moved from the house, or you still living there? Or
I'm
what is
still
it?
living there. Yeah. Like I said, my wife and I are going through divorce. My wife is out right now. It's just me. So it's
Okay.
like, this is too much space for me. Yeah.
I totally get it. Like, if you could like wave a magic wand kind of a thing, and if you could like make something magical happen, like what would that scenario look like? If we could, close at any time, like what does the perfect scenario look like for you?
I just want to get some of my equity out in it to where I'm not getting nothing for it, but I just want to be out fast. I love, right now I'm paying on this house and I don't really feel like continuing to pay for it. And I'd like to just get out and not have to deal with being in this house anymore. It's a big house. We're going through something messy. I just want to get out of it.
Yeah, totally.
So, I mean, I don't know, but what's your time frame? I'd be looking to sell fast, but I don't really know what my options are.
Well, I can close tomorrow theoretically. I can close tomorrow because I'm the real buyer, and so we can close whenever you want. I think if it's okay, let me just be really honest with you. Is I'll tell you exactly how the process kind of works, and then we'll kind of go from there and see if we are a good match. Because you got a lot going on, and I'll just kind of tell you what your options are, and if we're a good fit, that's great, and if not, I'll still be your friend, kind of a thing. And that's hopefully that's the way it will work out. And so typically what happens is we would come out there and view the property. We'll kind of take 10, 20 minutes, look around the property, take some pictures. It's typically pretty simple, and we'll do that. We will then have a quick conversation, and just curious, like, do you know like where you're going to move? Do you already have that figured out yet, or?
I don't yet. Probably just at a buddy's place until I can get an apartment or something.
Well, could you, if you could wave that magic wand, could you close in a week? Could you close in like a couple days? Like, what does that look like for you?
I'd say probably a week would be the fastest I could get out.
Okay. Would you take your stuff? Would you leave your stuff? Like, what does that look like?
I'd be taking some of the stuff. Some of the stuff is left behind for the wife. I don't need to do anything with it.
Some things that we do is, we kind of how our business model works is that we flip properties, and we also do rentals. And then sometimes our partners will do one of those things too. So, it sounds like you have a kind of a bigger house, and it sounds like it kind of needs some updates, but, it sounds like kind of a flip, kind of a property. And so we'll come out there and we'll just try to figure out what that looks like. You had said one thing, like you want to get some of your equity back. Like, what does that look like for you? Just kind of in a range, like a ballpark range, like not to put you in a corner, but like $30,000, dollar ballpark range. Like, what does that look like for you?
Yeah, I'd say probably about 45 to 50. Give
Okay.
me a good enough chunk of cash that I can walk away with.
And what do you owe on the property?
I'm sorry.
What do you owe on the property?
I owe, I think, 150 left on the mortgage.
And okay. And what is your payment every month?
You got to make me do some math here.
Yeah.
Brady's trying to make up fake numbers on the fly that compute.
No, it's good. I think that, we've kind of
Been cornered.
No, exactly.
I'm at about $900 a month.
Wow, sweet. That's awesome.
It's not bad.
No, it's a really, really good deal, actually.
Low interest rates. I got locked in.
Yes, you did. You got that 1.9. I think so. We'll get back to this conversation really quick. So what do you want for the property? Just like we close next week. What does that look like for you?
Like I said, I mean, I'm looking for that like 45, 50 grand to walk away with in my pocket.
And I didn't catch like what you said you thought the house was worth. Like totally fixed up, everything awesome.
I'd say probably like, I don't know, close to 3 in this market, maybe.
Okay, so you're thinking that you want roughly 190 to 200 grand ish within reason.
Yeah, let's say about so. If we can close fast and I don't have to deal with it, I don't want to deal with it.
Okay, it's like
otherwise I might be willing to take the time to list it.
Yeah, no, I totally get that. As far as I'm concerned, you can like the old cartoons, you can get a stick and tie a trash bag to it and stick your clothes in it and like walk out the door and leave everything for me.
Yes.
It doesn't really matter because our crews, they're going to come and take care of it anyways. But tomorrow we have, a little bit of time in the morning between 8 to 9. Would that work for you, or is like more of like a lunchtime better for you?
I can be there. I can be there in the morning before work. That would work for me.
Awesome. I drive a white F-150, and I will be there tomorrow about 9 o'clock.
Okay. Sounds good, man. Thanks.
Awesome. I look forward to meeting you, man.
All right. Let the critiques roll in. Nobody critique me on not having my numbers prepped ahead of time.
No, you're getting critiqued. Okay. Critique number 1. What kind of 5-bedroom, 2-bath house is only 1,900 square feet?
I like small
I can
bedrooms.
pick several zip codes, bro. I can just start naming left
Okay.
and right.
RJ, this is the only thing I didn't make up. I just built my house. We legitimately like small bedrooms. It's a 5-bed.
It's got no garage. Yeah, they replaced the garage conversion into a bedroom. That's what it was.
That's awesome.
So
Beau, I am curious, early on, why did you go straight to condition?
his personality, the way he was presenting himself, he was real factual at the beginning. He was very much like, I just submitted my stuff, this is my name. And he had like a personality that was very much would have taken, get straight to the point more than like, I want to be your friend kind of a personality. And that was
I was just curious if that's something you always do because you're going to be going on appointments.
Mm-hmm.
And so if it's like, I kind of want to know that there's some sort of physical distress element to this, if that's why you were doing it, because that's something completely different than what I do. I don't really want to talk about condition early on unless the seller like just mandates it,
And another thing too is like he came to me, he filled a form on my website,
right?
And he's motivated, right? He wanted to sell his house. So he came to me, we had a conversation, and it's boom. I got the lead. I'm calling you. We have maybe a minute of small talk. He tell me a story. Boom. I want to know like what's up, and let him know I do mean business in my own way, right? So that's kind of the reason I did that. And a lot of times as a conversation goes, I'll interject like things, in a real conversation. You'll interject more personal things, or you'll navigate. It's kind of like a stream. You'll take it as it goes versus me kind of having to make it up a little bit on the fly. Which was still kind of a good conversation.
One thing I'll add is that I threw the divorce thing. I made up the divorce thing and threw that in there because I want to hear how you would respond. I was expecting you to respond with empathy and maybe dive in more into like, oh, tell me about the divorce. Maybe that would work on a lot of people. Like, I'm not going to give advice on like how to close it. Mm-hmm. But for my personality, like not being fictitious myself, I was kind of relieved to like just get to the nuts and bolts of it and be like, I just need to know this person can help me. And like, I want my friends and family to empathize with me. Like, we can be buddy. Let's talk about my situation. If I'm calling someone to do business with them, I'm just like, I want to know you can help me. Let's get to the nuts and bolts. So for me personally, that was a relief.
And the reason I didn't take that bait was because that I think a divorce is one of the things that is very, very personal, is very painful, and it's active right now. And it's one of the it's a deep wound pain point that it's not like a death. Like a death, I can say, I'm really sorry, which I could say I'm sorry, but maybe you hate this person, right? That's another thing. I've said I'm sorry, and they're like, oh my God, I can't wait to get out of this relationship. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I've done that before, which I kind of just let it slide on this one. And if they want to continue to talk about it, I'll go down that road a little bit. But divorce is just a very touchy subject. So I just try to, you said so many times, like, I just want to leave and get out of the house.
Brady, I'll add something on that. I love the fact that Beau didn't take that bait, because to Beau's point, we sometimes think that we need to make an assumption on what that person just said about their pain and motivation as to why they want to sell. And we assume like a death or a divorce or something like that is a negative thing. And our reaction is, I'm sorry to hear that. And to Beau's point, there's been times where I've said that and I learned I shouldn't have said that, where it's like, why would you be sorry about that? He cheated on me, and so I'm divorcing him. And it's like, and all of a sudden now we're talking about how he cheated on her and it's blah, 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 blah. And 10 minutes later, I still don't know if she has a house that she needs to sell for a discount.
I mean, you have to dig out of that hole too, because maybe now you're an enemy because.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, what I always say on that, Brady, is ask questions that are relevant for you in the end result that you're desiring. Yeah, there's times where you need to go down the hole of the pain and motivation, but just saying I'm getting a divorce, and then the way you continue to talk about the condition of the property and other details, what you told Beau was that's more important than talking about my divorce.
I agree.
Gotcha.
If you'd have said, "Hey, I'm getting divorced, man, I really don't want to get a divorce," that's a whole different thing.
Mm.
Then you say, "I'm sorry," right? But if you said, "I'm divorced, I want to get a divorce," the answer to what they want, it could be anywhere. I mean, so but if you say, "I want to get divorced, God, I can't wait to leave," then you say, "When do you want to close?" You know, that's different, right? The way you ask me or talk to me, it's going to be elicit a different response.
Okay.
That right there, I think, is worth noting, because I think I've talked with both of you guys, RJ and Beau, that you guys don't believe or use scripts, right? I mean, there's certain things to say that you might ask RJ way early in your call. Hey, what are you looking to sell it for? Things like that. But this is the importance where I think a lot of people look for scripts. They're looking for this magic bullet to not have to do the work to learn how people think and learn how people work and how to really guide a conversation. And so, yeah, there are snippets of things you can say at different points. It is important to recognize where to say this and how to say that. But there isn't like a script because you have to take the cues from the other person, which you guys talked about amazingly well there.
I think a lot of it is like regarding the script is we just all need the same answers, and however you get those answers, it doesn't really matter. Like the script doesn't matter. It's like we all want to know the condition. We all want to know where they're going to move. We all want to know all these different things. So you just have to have those things memorized, and however you get there, that's going to be conversational.
Yep.
So doing a quick time check. We got about 20 minutes here. Let's do, Trevor, think of your house, a better house than I did with better numbers.
I wrote notes. Okay. I've got real numbers here, Brady. I'm prepared.
You got the floor plan and everything.
Got it easy over there. I'm making up stuff.
Oh, you've had time to watch me flubber through that. Okay, so
that's exactly why I did it. I'm like, I'm not going to make up stuff that
Trevor's
doesn't make sense and that RJ doesn't know what to do with it. So.
Second or third time I made this mistake. I haven't learned yet. We got one question while you're thinking of that. He said, and then we'll switch over. We'll do that role play, and then we'll critique and do questions again. Alex, you are asking great questions during this entire summit. He said, Beau, why bring up that it's a flip property? I liked laying out what exit options there are.
Okay, great question. I choose that. I let them know my options just because it gives them an opportunity sometimes that they can elaborate a little bit more on condition. Maybe they'll have input on it, and it gives us a point of connection. A lot of times it can do that, and they'll be like, oh yeah, this would be an awesome flip like HGTV, or this would make a great rental property. And it gives us connection points. And also it's very open and transparent about how we make money without me saying how we make money. Like I'm making money, it's me it's alluding to the fact that I'm in this for profit. That's the reason. I just open and transparent through like subtle cues.
Okay. Right on. All right. Trevor, RJ, take it away.
And one thing on that too is I think everybody knows what a flip is, right? But all the sellers on that side, but none of them are probably going to know what a wholesale is or creative finance or anything. But it makes sense. Oh yeah, you're going to flip it. Cool. I think they can relate to that in some way, shape, or form. Okay, cool. So on this one here, it was a web form submit in some way, shape, or form. You got the lead in some way, shape, or form, RJ, and you're calling me up. All right.
All right. I just dialed the number. Ring, ring, ring.
Cool. Hello.
Hey, is Trevor there?
Yep. This is him. Who's this?
Hey, Trevor, this is RJ Bates. I was calling about your property there on Southeast Jackson Street. Look like you just filled out a form on my website saying you're looking to sell that. You still looking to sell?
Yeah, maybe. If it's the right price and right situation.
Awesome. What's the right price?
Oh boy. Well, I'd love to get, man, if I could get 300K for this thing, I think I'd be pretty pumped about doing something with it.
All right. 300,000. Well, tell me a little bit about what you got going on.
Yeah. So I live in a different state. This property, it's a property I bought, many years ago, and it's a duplex. It's just been a pain in the butt. Property manager hasn't been doing their work. There's some things that need fixed up on it. Tenants have been trashing. I'm just kind of done with it. I haven't been able to go over there and just want to cash out and be done with it.
Gotcha. So there were tenants. Are there still tenants living there, or is it vacant now?
Yes, there's a tenant in one side, and the other side, they had to evict them out, but they've left it kind of trashed, and the property manager left me hanging high and dry, so we don't have a property manager there anymore.
Gotcha. How much is the tenant paying on the one side?
That one side, they're paying $1,500.
$1,500. Is that what I could probably get for the other side if it's fixed up?
My guess is he could probably get more on both. We just haven't been optimizing for the rents very well. It's just been, out of sight, out of mind, unfortunately.
Gotcha. You said the other side's tore up. What all needs to be fixed up on that one?
Yeah, I mean that's the problem is I don't know specifically. I've just seen a couple pictures, but it looks like definitely carpets. There's some wall, stuff that has to be done. Beyond that, I don't know the full details and conditions of it.
Do we know if the major systems are still working, like the roof and HVAC and stuff like that, or is it just cosmetic, or do we know if the systems need work too?
Yeah, those should be fine. I think we're good in those.
Okay. You said you live out of state. Where do you live now?
Yeah, I live in Oregon. Properties over there in Idaho.
I think you're wrong, Trevor. I told you the property was in Roseburg, Oregon.
I live in Idaho.
Talk about your property
I live
down
in
Southeast Jackson Street. No, I'm just playing. All right, so the property somewhere else, not Oregon.
Yeah.
All right, so I got a vacant side. I got 1,501. Is that one side? Is it on a lease or is it month to month?
Yeah, that one's on a lease, and if I remember right, that 1 year lease comes up here in the next few months.
Okay. You said the property manager left you high and dry. I mean, was there a reason why they left you? Did they just bad business? They didn't like you? What was the reason why they just left you high and dry?
Yeah, they had really bad communication, and it seems like they just moved out of the business. So I got an email that said they're moving out of the business. I'm here left with a unit out, got to fix up. I'm out of state, and I was faced with, do I find a property manager to do this, or do I just get rid of the property?
I mean, honestly, can you blame them? I mean, being a property manager has to be one of the most unrewarding jobs of all time.
Dude, that's why I don't want to manage my own property.
Exactly. I mean, well, you said you had to evict the one tenant. I mean, did the property manager help you with that at least?
Yeah, so they were doing that process right before, and then that's shortly after is when I got the email.
So you retired them from the business.
Yeah.
Your eviction was so bad. You made them change careers.
Yeah.
Yeah. They probably went to working at Pizza Hut, taking pizza orders. That's what I used to.
Who knows? I'm not sure, but yeah, it's frustrating for sure.
That's the one job better than being a property manager, taking pizza orders. All right. So you want $300,000. You think I could probably get a little bit more than $3,000 a month, so the cash flow could be there. The problem with that is that with $300,000, I need it to be a little bit lower because of the repairs that I'm going to need to do to the one side.
Yeah.
So I need you to have a little bit of wiggle in your worm. Okay. So based off of the square footage that I'm looking at, you don't even know the condition of that one side, right?
Yep.
But say it's just cosmetics and all the systems are good. It's probably going to run me somewhere in the range of $30,000. So I'm going to need you to be somewhere in the range of 265 to 270, just because I've got to come in and do those repairs, and then I could be all in. And what that's called is a 1% rental there. That's really the lowest margin that we can make as a landlord. So does that sound like something that you could swallow?
It makes sense, because if I don't sell the property, I got to go in and fix it, and it's going to be a hassle. I don't have anyone there locally now. So I get and understand, that there's got to be some wiggle room if I'm going to walk away from that problem.
So let me walk you through how our process would work. What I would do is I'll send you over a 2-page agreement for the 265, and that's cash. We'll buy it as is.
I think you mentioned 265 or 70. Can we do the 270?
I did say that. I did. You caught that. Typically when I say that, that's to make you feel good until I hit you with the actual lower number. But since you caught it, you're good. And you had some wiggle, so I'll give you the 270. Okay.
Thank you.
So I'll send you over the agreement for the 270. Once you've signed that agreement, then we're going to come out. We're going to do our inspection. Okay.
Mhm.
I need to verify that the work is going to cost $30,000.
Okay.
If the work is going to cost me $30,000, then we're good to close at the 270. And we could probably get this done in about 3 to 4 weeks. Does that work for you?
Yeah, dude. If we can do that, I'm in, man. I'm in.
Okay. And now here's the deal. If we go out there and it's $50,000 worth of work, we're going to have a conversation about the fact that it's $50,000 worth of work.
Okay. Ooh,
Now,
so
I'm not saying I'm going to bamboozle you with that, but I'm just saying there's going to be a conversation where I say we're good to go, or hey, this is a lot more work, and we'll bring that with facts.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That was the thing that popped up for me is, how can I make sure and trust that number, that repair number is the number, or am I able to get a second opinion on that kind of stuff? How does that normally work for you?
So you've told me it's pretty much all cosmetics. So if it's carpets, floors, cabinets, kitchens, bathrooms, I get that.
Okay.
If I show up and there's structural issues, ACs, roofs, things like that, that's where we're going to come in and we'll show you, hey, this is not functional. This is not working.
Okay.
And we'll be able to go from there. I'll be honest with you, that happens about 30% of the time. Okay. So, and you've been upfront with me. Majority of the time when that happens, it's because someone says my house doesn't need any work.
Yeah.
So you already told me it needs work. We have already put in a healthy budget, so we should be good.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
So I'm going to go ahead. I've got your email here. You gave it to me on my web form. I'll send that over to you. Once you've signed that, my team will be in contact with you tomorrow, schedule the walkthrough and get the inspection done. Okay.
Okay. One thing I didn't tell you is I think the tenant on the other side might be cooking meth over there. Does that change anything at all?
Yeah. Crystal methany is going to be a problem.
This is in Kentucky, actually.
Actually, no. I'll just send Beau out there. Beau loves dealing with
Hey, I bought a bunch of them, buddy. A seller pushed me through a meth window one time.
Oh man, that was a good way to finish that, Trevor.
I think it's in Southern Oregon. I don't know where this property is.
Right.
It's so good.
Cool.
So good.
No, that was good, man, because the styles both you guys had ended up getting to the same point, right? And there's just so many parallels in what y'all did. I mean, you discover what the pain point was, what it is that we're trying to get out of it. And me as a seller, and just going through that with RJ, because I wasn't in that seat with Beau, but going through that with RJ, it's like, oh, well, yeah, he asked me a number up front. It forces me to think about something now. And odds are, before I made that call, I had a number in mind somewhere, at least a range. I'm not just going on that call with no idea. I don't think any seller is probably going on the call with zero thought or zero idea on price. So at least it's something they can say. And it challenges the seller to have some sort of a commitment to something, right? Even if that price is out of the ballpark.
So Trevor, real quick, two things. You gave me numbers. So this is if this was real life, that's exactly how that call would have gone, because the price of $300,000 and the rent rate of $3,000 a month is a 1% rental. That's pretty much the bare minimum that we can get to be able to dispo a deal, right?
Yep.
So because of that, I put you in the bucket of motivated but wrong price, and I had to educate you on why I needed to be at the 270. And in that case, that was actually not the ideal close. The ideal close would have been 300,000 is relatively close. And I would have asked you, if I cover all the closing costs and there's no realtor commissions, what's the best price you could do for me? And then you would have price dropped yourself.
Gotcha.
But because it was too big of a difference, there's no way in the world you would have price dropped yourself enough. And so in a real scenario, that's exactly how that call would have gone there.
Yep.
Probably a little bit of pushback on the 30K spread from the rehab.
Yeah.
That's norm. Beau, wouldn't you agree? Most sellers would be like, no, you can get this done for 10 or 12 grand.
Yeah, I would agree. But I think you did a good job setting the expectations, and that's kind of solved that issue. Is you set the expectations of like what the experience would be like and what you would do if it weren't the same condition. So you did a really good job setting his expectations of a price reduction without saying that.
Yep.
Yeah.
And one thing both of you guys did, and I think this is a great takeaway. And guys, this works for any business. I don't care if you're selling software or you're a plumber or an HVAC company. Is like when you can demystify the next steps for the person. And this isn't even like a sales technique. This is just hey, here's what to be ready for, right? Beau said, great. This time I'm going to show up. I'm going to be pulling up in a white F-150, and then we're going to hop out. We're going to talk. It's like, oh, I can put myself in the seat to visualize what this is going to feel like and be like. And RJ said not the white F-150, but he gave a version of what's next. Hey, we're going to do this. We're going to look at these things. And if this happens, here's what we're going to do. If this happens, here's what we're going to do. And there's no mystery. And so in that time period between the time that I'm a seller and I hung up that phone with RJ or Beau and the time that the next step happens, I feel a sense of confidence as a seller that I can already go, oh, I've already committed to some level of a process that's clear to me and makes sense. Versus if I don't have that and someone else calls me right after that, 30 minutes later, an hour or two later, if they give me more clarity of next steps and clarity of confidence of that process, I may step forward with that other person if I feel like I have more clarity in what the heck is next. And so they both did that really good, gave clarity, increased confidence. It lowered my guard to say, okay, this all makes sense. It feels like it's not something where they're just gonna be wrenching me over the front of the truck when we get there.
Yeah, and the other thing on that, Trevor, is like with the setting the expectation for the renegotiation, when that actually happens, our conversations are so factual based because we've set the expectation for that being the case. And the other thing is during the acquisition side, when you say that to a seller and they give you like extreme pushback, it's like, okay, so is there something I don't know? Is there that's like gives you the leverage at that point to say, I mean, I'm willing to give you $270,000 right now, sight unseen, and you're saying you're not willing to give me the opportunity to come back and say, hey, I found something.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Do you need to tell me something?
Yep.
You know, and that there have been times where they say, well, yeah, I mean, I did have someone say the roof needed to be replaced.
Gotcha.
Oh,
yep.
Okay. Well, let's go ahead and let's deduct for that then.
That's good.
So
good.
We got probably time for one, maybe two more questions here. And then we got to wrap up at 1:40, bring our last guest on for the day. Anthony, question for RJ and Beau. What if the seller automatically wants your offer price right out the gate or says they have no idea how much they want? Does that happen?
It does happen. It does.
What do you do?
Well, I say, well, Anthony, here's how this works. We buy houses based on condition, and I don't know what the condition is of the home. So let's just kind of start back at kind of the beginning, and I'm just going to kind of walk you through what this looks like of our process and how we buy houses, what kind of houses we buy, and you can tell me a little bit about it. That way I can have a little bit more educated opinion when I come to giving you a proper price, because I don't want to pay you something that's, too low or too high. I mean, ultimately I would love to have the house for free, but unless you're going to give me the house for free, let's kind of walk through this and then I can give you a real price. That way you can take it or leave it. And if you leave it, we'll still be friends.
So we got two ways to handle this. We got the way you should probably handle it, which is very similar to what Beau said. I don't know anything about this property except for some vague information off of the internet and what you just gave me on my web form. So we've got to have a conversation to see if this is going to be a good fit for us. Let's have that conversation. The other way is if they just came to us and I say, how much do you want for the house? And they say, I don't know. How much is your offer? You can be super aggressive and burn the bridges right there and see if they chase after you and say, oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were looking to sell your property. You don't even have an asking price. Do you want to call me back when you have an asking price?
I fully agree. I've said so many times, like, hey, this ain't Battleship. It can't be guessing. I can't be throwing darts. You got to tell me the price because I can't pay a price I don't know.
Yep.
There we go.
And if you say that, you want the two most important things we're going after: right price motivated sellers, right? We need motivation. We need the price to be right. So if they don't want to give us the price right out front, the best way to see if they're motivated is to run that direction and see if they chase after you. So if you just burn it right there.
Totally agree.
Because, dude, there are so many times. I have a video on my YouTube channel where I said that, and the husband screams in the background, 100,000, because he knew I was about to hang up the phone.
So two more questions. We'll be quick. We have our next guest is hopping around about 1:45. But as we wait for Liz to show up, I want to answer these. This is a yes or no question from Mike Otranto. Do you count all calls and web form submissions as leads, or just ones that have a house to sell?
I think it's not a yes or no question because I think that.
Oh, sorry. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, sorry. I mean, yeah. Go ahead.
So yes, I would say yes to the question. Yes and yes. But yes,
Do you count all calls and web form submissions as leads?
yes.
Okay.
I don't. I'm not going to count the ones where it's like some spam bot or something
Well,
like that.
oh yeah, obviously.
They have to have some sort of real estate that they're wanting to sell.
If it's a real
Otherwise, it's just fake.
yes.
Okay. Good deal. Okay. Last question, just for the sake of time. How do you handle aggressive sellers? That's loaded.
Be aggressive. I like what RJ said. You go back at them because you came to me. I'm not afraid. I can be nice, but let's go back. Like, why are you being aggressive? Like, hey, listen, I want to buy houses. If you don't have a house to sell, like, I don't care to buy it. Like, it's not. I got a bunch of houses that I could buy. Like, if you want to sell your house, let's have a real conversation. At the end of the day, if you don't want to sell it, I don't want to buy it. Like, but I'm in the business to buy houses, and if you're in the business to sell, I am the guy, and I'll do the very best job in the city. You can call my attorney and get a bunch of references, and if not, that's okay too.
Yep. I mean, I talked to a seller yesterday. So she inbound lead. I called her. She didn't answer. She called me back. It was during a live. Jerry Norton was doing an epic close, and I missed it because I had to answer her phone call. And she's like, so are you just a wholesaler? And I'm like, well, no, ma'am. I identify as a lot of things, but I'm not going to identify as just a wholesaler. Yes. And she goes, oh, so you're a smart ass. And I'm like, I apparently what I am is just getting insulted right now, and she's like, oh, okay. So you got a little bit of pushback. And I'm like, ma'am, do you have a house you want to sell? She's like, maybe if you give me the right price. I said, what's the right price? She says, $450. I said, you said it's tenant occupied. How much is it renting for? $1,800. I said, well, ma'am, that's never going to work. You're an investor. I'm an investor. That's never going to work. She said, you're not an investor. You're a wholesaler. Click. Here's the deal. It was a 35-second call. What ended up happening? The exact same thing if it were a 35-minute call and I tried to play nice with her. I found out that it's a $450,000 house in a $300,000 neighborhood rented out for $1,800. Sometimes you just got to stand your ground and say, listen, I don't need these people's business. We are the buyer. Okay. When you go buy a car, is your used car salesman going to be rude to you? No, they're going to be nice and they're going to try to sell you. Put yourself in the position where the sellers actually do that with you as well. Stand your ground.
Yep. That's awesome. That's a good response. I appreciate that. Well, guys, we could go on this for hours, but Liz is popping into the background and we're going to wrap up the summit with our last issue of the day. Yes, Trevor. Any closing thoughts?
I was going to toss these guys. Where can people follow you? Because there's a lot of questions that keep coming through. We're introducing you guys to amazing people that we trust, that we love, that we work with. Where can people follow you?
I'm on Instagram at Beau Hollis, just my name here. I'm at Beau Hollis, and then also on YouTube. It's called the Wholesaling Podcast. We're going to be doing some cool stuff there.
Yeah, same thing. Instagram, RJ Bates III, and then YouTube. Every single day this year, we're releasing a new long form video. It's a haul. We're almost halfway there, baby. We're almost halfway there. We'll be going live today at 6 p.m. So hop on over there.
Heck yeah, awesome. Dude. I love it. And guys, if there's any other questions to stay on schedule, we want to respect y'all's time. We want to respect everyone's time. So keep the questions coming through or go directly to RJ's YouTube channel, Beau's YouTube channel. They'll answer questions in there as well. Thank you guys. I love the way that you ethically guide your prospects towards a solution that works for them and works for you. And guys, go follow these gentlemen. Amazing. We have an amazing last 2 sessions of Summit coming up, guys. We've got Liz Faircloth going to be popping in here in a second. An amazing investor to walk us through how she made the journey from going from active income on the real estate side into more of the passive. And that's a journey a lot of y'all want to make. And then Brady and myself are going to finish up day 2 of this summit at the end, right after Liz's session. We're going to wrap everything together into a bow, help you get focused on the right next action items, helping you to make the mindset shift that's going to make these last 2 days amazing. So guys, let's finish up with blowing up the chat box for Beau, for RJ. Throw them some love. Just like Jamil said yesterday, you get the energy back that you put out to the world. Put the energy into Beau and RJ that you want to get back today and tomorrow, guys. Love you. Amazing. Back over to you, Brady. I think we've got a commercial, and we're going to bring in Liz.
One quick thing I want to say, RJ, I want to say thank you while you're on the call. You were kind enough to give us some incredible content. So we put together the Summit Bundle, and I'm not here to hard sell you. You can get, the Summit Bundle, 4 months of Carrot, and the add-ons for basically just the price of what that would cost. And we're throwing in a ton of extra training and guides for free. One of those guides is from RJ. It's the one call closing formula. And it literally lays out step by step his 5 important questions, the exact scripts, everything he says, and the top objections he gets from sellers so that you can do what we talked about at the beginning of the call, implement what works, what you like, take it away. We've got his exact scripts all put together in one guide. So RJ, thank you for having it included in the Summit Bundle. I appreciate it, man. Check it out.
Thank you.
All right. We'll see you in a few.
If you've been enjoying this year's summit, y'all, what if you could get access to RJ Bates' exact one call close script? What if you could get the exact emails and text messages that some of the most effective and fast scaling wholesalers are using in their email and text follow-up? And what if you could learn the exact things to do once a lead comes in to increase the deals that you're pulling out of your paid campaigns? And also, what if you could really get the behind the scenes of how Jeremy Resmer grew a $2 million wholesale company, the exact marketing mix, the whole thing? Well, we're giving all of those to you in this year's Summit Bundle offer, plus a lot more. Okay, the core of this offer is really the Carrot Evergreen marketing software. You're going to get 4 full months of Carrot's software, a high-performing website, the fastest in the market, the best ranking, the highest converting. Plus, we're going to unlock 3 of the top add-ons that our most successful clients are using every single day. Our SEO add-on, where it's going to give you your SEO reporting and tracking and really the things you need to be able to know how to rank higher in Google using the Carrot software. We're going to give you the content marketing tools to automate your content marketing and really win back your time and money. And we're also going to let you stand out even better using our premium designs. That alone is a $704 savings. If you were to pay for those features over 4 full months, it's $176 a month. We're going to waive those payments. That's $704 of payments waived. In addition to that, guys, we're going to accelerate your path in being successful, moving towards success with the Carrot software with our 30-day challenge and our 3 lead per day training. Those are our 2 trainings where they're like peanut butter and jelly. They go hand in hand. You move forward that first 30 days with your accelerated onboarding in the 30-day challenge, and then we give you the on your own pace training of the 3 lead per day training to do the work yourselves or to delegate it to somebody else. Our aim at Carrot during this summit is to inspire and equip. And once again, we are really making this bundle offer. So number one, it's the most accessible bundle offer we've ever made. We cut hundreds of dollars off of this year's bundle offer, brought the price down, increased the value even more. And we really want to make this the most amazing time for you to either get started in real estate or get started with Carrot, or to double down on your journey to really step into evergreen marketing this year. Guys, as you're going throughout the summit, I want you to pull away the different nuggets of inspiration, and I want you to really make that decision. Do I want to build a business of freedom, or do I want to stay on the marketing hamster wheel? Do I want to build a business that I do marketing today that works for years and really builds an amazing foundation in my business? Or do I want to always have to be doing these activities forever to be able to bring in the next dollar? Well, at Carrot, we're not just about helping you get more revenue or more deals. Okay, that's the end result, of course. But when I feel that we've won at Carrot is when you guys and gals are not just growing businesses that grow revenue, but when you also grow a business that starts to win back your time. when you grow a business that you finally enjoy to run because you're talking with prospects and you're talking with clients who actually want to talk with you, who are motivated, who are seeking out a solution to their problem. And those are the exact type of leads that we help you get in front of here at Carrot. And we've helped thousands of our members get in front of millions of these leads and close hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars of deals over the last 5 years alone. All right, guys, click the link below, $697 today. Okay, and then no payments for 4 full months so you can really dive in, try the system, use the training, execute like mad, and be able to hopefully pull that first deal out within those 4 months. Or if you're already a Carrot member, invest the $697 today, which is a savings over buying all these bonuses and paying for those that software for the next 4 months. And then you're going to be able to have 4 full months of no payments and really drive forward with focus to get that next deal or the next 10 deals. All right, guys, grab the bundle offer today before it goes away at the end of Summit, and we'll see you on the next Summit sessions. Engage, share this Summit up with other people as well while you're thinking about it, so you can bring in more people to be inspired, to be equipped, to make this better, to make the industry better, and to really drive us all forward together. All right, guys, we'll see you on the next Summit session.